The skies burned red above the ruins of Calthera's Prime. Private Marcus Hale limped through the shattered cityscape, each step agonizing. His right arm hung useless from a plasma wound, and blood seeped through torn armor at his side. Yet he refused to stop, not while the small weight in his left arm stirred faintly against his chest. The child, an alien girl no older than 6, clung to him with wide, glassy eyes. Her skin shimmered faintly under the smoke-filled sky, bioluminescent veins glowing like threads of starlight. She was terrified, trembling, but alive. "Stay with me, kid," Marcus rasped, forcing strength into his voice. "We're gonna make it out." The battlefield was chaos. Human and alien soldiers alike lay scattered in the rubble, victims of the Dominion's bombardment. Automated drones still prowled the skies, hunting survivors. Every noise in the distance made Marcus grit his teeth and shift the girl high against his chest, shielding her with his broken body. He hadn't planned this. He hadn't even known who she was when he found her, trapped under collapsed masonry, crying for help no one else could give. His orders had been clear: withdraw, regroup, and save his own skin. But when he heard her sobbing in the ruins, something inside him refused to walk away. Now, he carried her through hell itself. The beginning, a soldier's last march. Marcus had been a soldier for too long. He had fought in the dust wars on Titan, the frozen sieges of Ganymede, and countless nameless colonies abandoned to chaos. His body bore scars like medals, but his soul was tired. And yet, carrying this child gave him a reason he hadn't felt in years. Each time his knees threatened to buckle, he told himself, one more step. For her. Drones scouted above, scanning rubble. Marcus ducked into alleys, pressed himself against collapsed walls, and moved only when shadows hid them. His blood loss worsened. His vision blurred, but he pressed forward. Hours passed. His armor's warning system screamed at him, but the child stirred and whimpered, drawing his focus back. She whispered something in her native tongue, words he couldn't understand. But when a tiny hand clutched his chest, he answered softly, "Yeah, I've got you." The war zone stretched endlessly. Yet Marcus carried her on, through flames, corpses, and the echoes of battle. The middle, the matriarch appears. When Marcus finally collapsed, he thought it was the end. The child screamed as he fell to his knees, vision swimming. He shielded her as best he could, body curling around haze. The last thing he expected was the sound of wings. Not mechanical wings, but organic, vast and luminous. Shadows swept across him as sleek alien soldiers descended, their armor gleaming, their weapons humming. At their center strode a figure taller and more radiant than them all. Her presence was undeniable. She was regal, terrifying, beautiful in a way Marcus couldn't comprehend. Her eyes glowed with violet fire as she saw the child in his arms. "Daughter!" she cried, her voice command and a plea. The girl stirred, lifting her head weakly. "Mother!" Marcus forced himself upright, clutching the child protectively until the towering women reached him. His body screamed in protest, but he would not let go until he was certain she was safe. The woman knelt, her silver hair spilling like liquid light. She touched the child, relief flooding her expression. Then her gaze turned on Marcus, sharp, assessing. "You carried her through this war zone," she demanded. Marcus coughed blood, his lips curling into a grim smile. Didn't exactly have time to think it through. Her soldiers bristled, weapons raised, but she lifted a hand. "No, he is no enemy. He is a savior." The bond. The woman introduced herself as Lady Arinya Vera, High Matriarch of the Erendari. She was not just a girl's mother. She was a leader of her people. They brought Marcus aboard their flagship, where alien healers worked tirelessly to save him. His wounds were grave, but the matriarch visited him often, the child always in her arms. Each time Marcus opened his eyes, the girl was there, smiling faintly, reaching for him. When he finally regained enough strength to speak, he turned to Arinya. She's safe now. That's all that matters. But Arinya's expression was unreadable. She studied him with an intensity that made his chest tighten. Finally, she spoke. In our culture, she said, her voice low and deliberate, to carry a child through fire and blood is no small act. It is more than protection. It is devotion, and devotion must be honored. Marcus frowned. I didn't do it for honor. I just couldn't let her die. Her eyes softened, but her tone grew firmer. And for that, human, you have bound yourself to us. To me. To her. He didn't understand. Not until she leaned closer, her gaze never wavering. The life bond has been claimed. By our law, you are tied to my daughter's survival. To my family. To me. Marcus froze. You mean? Yes, she whispered, her hand brushing lightly across his scarred knuckles. By saving her, you will become ours. And I, yours. The ending, a new life. At first, Marcus resisted. He was just a soldier, broken and weary. What place did he have among these people, among their leaders and their laws? But as days passed, he realized something undeniable. He was wanted, needed, cherished. The child clung to him constantly, laughing when he carried her on his good shoulder, falling asleep with her head against his chest. The matriarch, once distant, began to seek him out, not just as a man who had saved her daughter, but as a partner in long conversations, as someone she could trust when even her generals failed her. The bond was more than ceremonial. It was real. One night, under the pale glow of alien stars, Arinya stood beside him on the flagship's observation deck. Marcus Hale, she said, her voice softer than he had ever heard it. When you carried her through the fire, you carried me as well. My heart, my world. Tell me you will not lay it down now. He met her gaze, scars aching, body still battered, but something new burning in his chest. For the first time in years, he felt whole. I won't, he said simply. Not now. Not ever. She reached for his hand, entwining her long, elegant fingers with his. And when her daughter appeared moments later, tugging both their hands together, Marcus knew the truth. He had entered the war zone alone, broken, ready to die. But he emerged with family, with love, with a life bound to something greater than himself. The war would continue. Battles would rage. But no matter what came, Marcus would never march alone again. And as the matriarch's lips brushed his beneath the stars, he realized the bond he had been given was not a burden. It was salvation.